The talking points memo is something that is happening, so I can report and analyze it with certainty, and that is the military, U.S. military, going into American cities. That is the subject of this evening's talking points memo. All right, let's take Chicago first. So this is a problem for the entire nation because thousands of African Americans are being murdered in Chicago, the nation's third largest city. The mayor there, Brandon Johnson, is a nitwit, and the governor, Pritzker, doesn't have anything to solve the problem. It's been going on now for more than a decade, right? Year after year after year. The drug gangs are killing people. No one is stopping it. Trump wants to stop it because that's a good issue for him, law and order president. But he can't send troops directly in to run Chicago at this point. So he's sending ICE agents, immigration. This is how he's getting around the posse comitatus law. So this is Operation Midway Blitz. Okay, ICE agents have flooded Chicago, and they are looking for illegal aliens. Okay? The worst of the worst, they say, but that's not always true. I believe that's the focus, but other peaceful migrants get caught up sometimes, and it's inevitable. It's inevitable that would happen. So anyway, the agents go in, and then the far left, Johnson and his crew, start to threaten the agents, start to say terrible things about them. And then Trump says, whoa, our agents are being threatened. I have to send in backup to protect them. That's what's happening, okay, in Chicago. So we don't have the exact numbers yet, but yesterday the federal agents began to arrive. Bunch of Border Patrol, I think some FBI, not National Guard yet, but they're coming. Now, the intent is, okay, protect the ICE agents. But believe me, a lot of these federal troops and agents will be put in the south side of Chicago to stop the gangs. That's what happened in Washington, D.C., and it worked. That's what's going to happen in Chicago. Okay. Portland, Oregon, similar story. Probably the most radical left town in America, Portland. I worked there. Beautiful town. Rains a lot, mellow, back when I was there in the 80s. Now, loons run it. And the loons allow all kinds of depravity in public. Go down to Pioneer Square, it's gross. You can't take your kids there. You know, walk along the waterfront, the Willamette River. No, can't. Too many miscreants hanging around, and nothing will happen to them no matter what they do. And you have Antifa. A lot of Antifa living in the Portland area. Okay? But Trump doesn't like Portland or Oregon, sanctuary state and city. Same thing. Sending in U.S. Immigration and Customs, okay? But here, there's a little bit of a different wrinkle because he says, not only are we going to protect our agents, we're going to protect federal property. Because Antifa, as you know, have attacked federal property. So that's why we're doing it. They're really doing it because Portland's radical left sanctuary city. So the governor of Oregon, very far left woman, Tina Kotek, responds this way. Go.
There is no insurrection. There is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city. Military service members should be dedicated to real emergencies. The members of the Oregon National Guard, their mission is to stand up and protect Oregonians, and they will do that every day, but they are not needed in the city. They are not needed here.
All right. Well, I disagree with the governor. I think she's just basically playing politics, but I could be wrong. I don't think I am based upon what I know is happening in Portland. But she's like Pritzker in Illinois, never going to say, hey, thanks. No, not going to happen. Cold and flu season, coming on up. We all know it. And it really is nothing to take lightly. So when people start getting sick all across the country, medications disappear. Everybody wants it at the same time. So it's very, very smart to have a pharmacy you can count on, like All Family Pharmacy. Right now, they're helping Americans get ahead of the curve with 10% off antibiotics, antivirals, other essentials. You know how important it is to have the right meds when you get sick, particularly when your kids get sick. You don't want to be going into the doctor's office, spending all the time. You want to have them at your home. So if you have a few months' supply, you don't have to worry. And that's what we're doing here. If you believe in medical freedom, okay, and taking care of your family, as I do, this is the pharmacy for you. Please go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use code BILL10 to save 10%. Then we go to Memphis, Tennessee, totally different story. Governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee, wants the federal response there because of the violence generated again by drug gangs. Same thing, Chicago. These drug gangs are heavily armed. They'll shoot you down in a heartbeat. Talk about evil, confronting evil. You know, my advice to anybody is don't confront these guys. They'll kill you. Same thing in Mexico with the cartels. So there is a force that is going, a federal force that's going in to clean these guys up. And they're working with the local Memphis and Tennessee authorities. So 150 National Guard is going to be deployed to Memphis, and they're going to be there indefinitely. And again, there is no resistance here. Tennessee authorities, by and large, want the feds to help. Now, that's not everybody, but it's the majority of people. So there is a poll that says most Americans don't want the military, the National Guard, this is by NPR, to go into the cities. By 37% do, 47% don't. I don't trust NPR at all. But I'd say it's 50-50 in this country because people don't understand the history of it. And let me enlighten everybody now. This is very interesting. And that's why I say you always should watch the No Spin News or listen on the radio with a pen and paper. I'm going to give you 3 examples of presidents that have done what President Trump is doing, which is why President Trump will win in the courts. First one was U.S. Grant, 1871. Fascinating. And we write about this in Confronting the Presidents. So Grant takes over for one of the worst presidents, Andrew Johnson. He's the guy who came in after Lincoln was assassinated. And Grant was a decent man. And he knew the Ku Klux Klan in the South, particularly South Carolina, was just running violent roughshod over blacks. So in 1871, Grant sent federal troops to South Carolina and arrested at least 600 Klansmen and killed a bunch of them. Okay, you didn't hear about that, but believe me, they disappeared. And it broke the back of the Klan until the 20th century when it resurrected again. Grant knocked it out. There was no outcry from Congress or anybody else. Grant said, look, we've got to protect American citizens, just like protect American citizens in Memphis and Chicago, right? Right? Okay. 1957, President Eisenhower sends 1,000 paratroopers, okay, to Arkansas because that state was not enforcing integration in their schools, okay? So 1,000 paratroopers, full gear, march into Little Rock and say, hey, you're going to do what you're told to do by the federal government. And then JFK in 1962 sends troops to the University of Mississippi, James Meredith, okay? And the next year to the University of Alabama. That was the George Wallace thing. So Grant, Eisenhower, JFK, when they felt American citizens were being abused, send the troops. That's why Trump will win every court challenge. Oregon is suing Trump. They'll lose. Now, you'll find the usual crazies. They'll find a judge. The judge will put a stay. And you know how the game plays. But once it goes to the Supreme Court, they keep precedent. Okay. And that's the memo.